Hello, this is the 58th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2222, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. So Simon, before we start, the UFOPO says thanks.
The who now?
The UFOPO, my work.
Okay.
For your advice that you gave us last week.
That worked out?
We blew the thing to smithereens.
Yeah.
The meteorite that was headed for the Bullies planet is no longer headed for the Bullies planet.
There, and they never knew? So there's no way they could
we have no sign that they even noticed.
Nice.
Yeah. So they will never know who to thank for.
Yeah, they won't even know there was something to thank anyone for.
But whenever we...
in the future, maybe.
If we ever make contact... we
say, hey guys, you know...
We will be sure to point that out. Just in case there be...
And with video, with some kind of evidence, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise they forget you just saying that, but...
We can just bring that up whenever they seem less inclined to engage. We can say, by the way.
That's in the future.
Yeah, so that was an exciting thing that happened for me the last couple of days. Anything exciting?
I went to... So it's a club I've heard of before, but I never was able to get in because... So it's a club called Psychedelica.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, right. But you can only get in there, maybe as you know, you can only get in there with either with a robot or at least accompanied or introduced by a robot.
Napoleon has been going on about this one.
Yeah, and I got in there. I was actually on a date, a robot called Sasha. We went there together.
And was it fun? I mean, the club?
It was, definitely. But I think it's really, it's a robot club. It's really geared towards the kind of things that robots like, yeah. It's not tailored to humans.
Okay.
For example, they don't have drinks. They don't serve drinks. So, luckily we'd gone to a bar beforehand. But yeah, they don't, if you want to drink there, they don't have any.
Okay.
And that follows them why they don't have a bathroom. Because, hey, they don't serve drinks.
Well, that's totally geared to robots.
Yeah, right.
So
what they do, so it's a robot club which doesn't affect us at all, humans, but like the dance floor itself has inductive chargers built into it. So as the robots are dancing, they charge up.
That actually makes sense.
Because dancing uses a lot of energy. And they don't need to worry about running out or running off to charge somewhere while they're in the middle of dancing, having to interrupt. No. They charge the whole time they're dancing.
But I guess that's included in the entrance fee, or...
Yeah, you don't have to pay extra.
But then for you, that doesn't...
Right, I don't get much benefit. I don't get any direct benefit from the induction.
Exactly.
If I lay down and put my phone on there, maybe, but I'm not going to do that. I get stomped on,
And I guess it's also that you got to have you're surrounded by very energetic robots.
Sure.
But then you can, they can dance as crazy as they want.
Yeah, go all out. No worry about running out of power, like I said.
But you were saying before, that's also what Napoleon is saying, because he's been going on about it, and he's basically pointing out that I can't go.
Okay, he won't even take. He doesn't want to take you. Or
I didn't ask because he's saying it's a club for robots. So
sure. When I was there, most of the people there were robots. There were just a few humans like myself.
Okay, so and humans get in if they are accompanied by a robot.
Yeah, as I understood it, Sasha explained it to me that you can't go there just as a human by yourself. They won't let you in.
Okay.
Even if you've been in there before.
So if you ever want to go there again, you have to...
Yeah, go with a robot.
Yeah, or just at least stay friends with Sasha.
Indeed. And sure, like I mentioned, no drinks, no bathroom. And the part that made it... So the music was really good. The dancing was fun. But the lights and the smells, they not so much. So the smells were all kinds of... unpleasant smells.
Okay.
And the lights were blinking in such a way that really, when I was dancing, I closed my eyes because I could still see the lights through my eyelids, but it was not as, painful. And it was still fun to dance, with the music, but just it was more like a feeling thing rather than a seeing thing.
You reckon they do that on purpose?
I guess not so much. You mean on purpose to stop? To go,
or maybe like for robots, they don't have that.
Well, I imagine more because that's pretty negative. Yeah, I imagine it more is that for robots, that's really good stuff.
Okay. I thought maybe because they don't really have this sense of smell or so that we have right. The lights are for the enjoyment, but the smells, I guess, they don't even care about, so they don't realise. And then
smells there.
it is basically also for the humans
It's like
that are dark.
burning lubrication smells
Oh,
from them dancing so much, like they're
and of course
heating
they
up
don't
their
care.
joints.
Yeah.
Like they don't notice it. Like it doesn't bother them in any way. And just me being there, okay, the smell of super hot robot joints for me isn't so pleasant. Maybe for some people it is.
But don't they have, like, if they don't serve drinks, is it basically just dancing, or can you also sit or hang at the bar, or?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no bar. You can sit on the floor, but there weren't chairs or stools or anything.
So it's basically just
huge dance floor.
I'm just thinking, like, aren't they getting tired? But
Nope. Like the equivalent for a robot of getting tired would be running low on energy. The dance floor takes care of that. So
there's just like the club.
at some point either they want to go, or at some point, okay, guys, we've got to close, and then you go somewhere else.
I guess, yeah. Is it like is it true that they have like different floors, where like with different music, or is that am I mixing things up?
I think you're mixing things up. At least,
Okay.
so there's lots of robot clubs, but at least Psychedelica was just the one dance floor.
Sounds great. I think I'm gonna now. I'm gonna bother
plus the Napoleon to take you.
to take. Oh, because exactly.
Mm-hmm. Or any other robot, but Napoleon. So
Okay, great. Then let's move on to the actual topic of this week.
Yep.
You wanna?
Yeah, invisibility cloaks is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
They are cloaks, so cloths, blankets, piece of fabric that you throw up over yourself, and when it's over you, you're invisible.
It makes you invisible,
Mm-hmm.
and it works really great in theory.
Yeah,
And
the tech's interesting. Yeah, you got it's completely covered in cameras and screens. Both of those super tiny, so that someone looking at the cloak sees what's on the other side of it.
It's simple yet brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like because they're all around. Whichever angle you're looking at it, you just see exactly what's on the other side.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's brilliant. I have one, but
did you bring it today?
I couldn't find it.
Oh no.
Because I knew we were going to talk about it. I know
Sure.
I have it. I haven't actually used it, I have to say.
Sure.
I got it as a present, and I have it hanging somewhere in my house. But as it goes with things that are invisible,
It's tricky to find.
you really have to know where it is.
Yeah, and Mr. Dobalino is still out of commission, I guess, so he couldn't find it for you.
Yeah. I mean, like I can use him inside the house, but
But he also still couldn't find it.
No, but I really try to keep my use of him to a minimum.
Sure.
It's like if it's really important, like let's say open the door. That's like if I can't open the door, that kind of sucks. If I can't find the invisibility cloak,
It's not so bad.
No.
Sure. Luckily, I've got mine here.
Oh,
Just over there. See where I'm pointing? That's where it is.
there. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was going to say, can you see it? Not so much.
Are you using it sometimes?
No. I'm trying to think the last time I used it. But no, not regularly at least. The last time I used it was... so I live here in an apartment building, and they were all the windows were being changed in the apartment building. And, sure, I trust the people doing the work, but I don't want to tempt them. So I put the invisibility cloak over some of my Lego models that are like extra valuable, just so they wouldn't even know they were there.
So that they wouldn't take them.
Take them or go, or basically.
Or
it's a bit, I know, paranoid.
Or that's the brick I'm missing.
That's the thing, because some bricks are no longer some Lego bricks are no longer in production. And right, exactly. It's a really low chance, but okay, what if the people putting in the new windows also really wanted that piece? I don't think they would steal it, but at the same time, if I was them, the temptation might be too much.
I'm wondering what's worse, like if they take the whole building or they just take one brick.
Sure. I mean, like I say, they definitely wouldn't. It was me being paranoid. For me, the whole model would be worse. It's a whole big model. Depending on the piece, like if they take a piece, the whole model falls down, that's also bad. But more realistically, it would be some small piece. You wouldn't even notice it until you looked really close.
They didn't stumble over the models?
I also moved them out of the way.
Okay, yeah.
Moved them to the side of the room away from the windows. Anyway, so that's what I've used my invisibility cloak for. Sure, as a child I used it much more, like for play, basically. It's really fun. But, day to day, I don't have so much need for one.
So, can we try it?
Yeah, sure. Can you get it?
Yeah. So here, I can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, I mean,
it's nice and soft.
It is, nice and fluffy.
I remember mine being kind of tough.
Okay, I mean, sure. Like with anything, there's different brands, different models, whatever. I'm going to put it over myself.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. It's pretty thick.
I can still see your feet though, so I'm not seeing your top part. But
right.
I think you need to crouch.
I do. How about now? Can you see me?
I can still see your feet.
Oh dear. Now?
Yeah, now it's gone. Now I see bits of your back.
Oh man. Okay, I guess I've had this blanket since I was too little, and by now it doesn't cover me all.
Okay.
I need a larger one if I want to actually be invisible. I don't often want to actually be invisible, so that's why it's not come up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when we said let's speak about this, the first thing is like, oh yeah, great, and then I remember it not really being.
Wait, go on, sorry.
Yeah, it's like it works. I remember the best when you're standing still.
Right, like it functions, yeah. Like exactly. You put it over something. Either you wear it when standing still, or you put it over something inanimate. By definition, that's staying still, and it works. But right, as a thing you would wear while walking around, while moving around, not so effective.
Yeah, I think when running, you can see something is moving.
Yeah,
if you have it,
there's a shimmer.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you move up really close, then it starts to get distorted. Like if you're 5-10 centimeters away from somebody and you're basically staring, then your vision gets like a little distorted, fuzzy or.
And that's just vision, yeah. But I mean, you're that close to someone, you also have a sense of their breathing, just of their presence, yeah. Like I mean, breathing, so sound, body heat, and so on. But even if you weren't thinking about it consciously, you just have a sense.
Yeah.
There's someone near me.
And you hear, and yeah, exactly, that's true. So you still feel that there's somebody there. Yeah. And also, like if you're in a room like this, you have to be super quiet.
As the person under the cloak.
Yeah, it's like even breathing. Like if I'm quiet and you're standing in a corner with Invisibility Cloak, like I can probably hear you breathing, and then
even if not consciously, you can.
And you're under a blanket, so it tends to get kind of hot.
Yep.
You actually breathe louder because you're under a blanket.
Yeah.
I think what I remember is that it works really well from the outside, but when I remember when I was wearing the blanket, it doesn't work the other way around. So
you can't see through it, no.
Exactly.
Like
so
when I was under the blanket just now, it was all dark.
Yeah, so that's also impractical. And then what's also impractical is actually handling things. If you're holding, let's say, whatever, a glass of water under the blanket, then that also is invisible. So you can basically walk around with the glass of water with the blanket over you. But for example, opening a door, if it's a door with a door handle, it's like you have to kind of like fumble the blanket on the handle. Or
I mean, you can also reach your hand out from under the blanket, but that defeats the point. People could see you. So if you want to stay invisible, you have to push your hand through the blanket to do that. But then the blanket's covering the door handle. Where'd the door handle go? What's going on?
And
I guess confused.
Exactly, and also like more wider arm movements. I'm moving my arms around now
very
for
widely.
the listeners. It's like the blanket also moves along, so you have to make sure your feet stay covered, and also like depending on what you want to do, you want to push somebody, I don't know, or you want to. Get on a horse, or it's you can't really do much if you're covered on a blanket.
It's really fun for playing pranks. It was great fun to play with as a kid, because you can play that you're invisible, but you are. And it doesn't need to be perfect, because the idea is like you're playing hide and seek. Hey, hide under this thing. It's pretty effective.
I remember when we were doing this, we had a rule that you couldn't ask your PA.
Sure, because they can. It doesn't. doesn't work on them, basically. They can see through it.
I mean, they know you're wearing one, and they know that other people can't see you, but they know you're there because they don't have this sense of visibility.
Sure. Yeah, right. It's not that they see through it, it's just that it's not even a concern.
Yeah. So, because that was, when we were playing, we always, it's basically, let's play hide and seek, but no PAs, because, like, first of all, even without an invisibility cloak, you hide in the broom cupboard, you ask your PA, where's my friend? In the broom cupboard,
Yeah.
And even if you're hiding right there in the room, covered in a visibility cloak, ask your PA, where's my friend? Standing right there. That's, so we had no PA rule.
Right, that it wasn't allowed for you all to query them.
And of course, they get lost a lot.
The cloaks, yeah.
I think might even be their business model, because they're not super expensive.
Right, but and they last a long time. Like if you don't lose them, they don't wear out that much. So right, the fact that it's so easy to lose them, that's not a bad thing for the company selling them.
What I like is, I can't remember which company was this. This was a long time ago now, but they had this this campaign for new invisibility cloaks, and they made really big ones, and they covered big things in the street, like landmarks. I mean, not the Eiffel Tower or something like this, but big things like maybe like a statue in the park, or like a small shop, or like a famous bush or so. I don't remember anywhere, but everywhere in big cities, stuff disappeared. Like people would wake up in the morning, they would, go for a morning run, and the big statue of Charles the Great that was normally in the park was suddenly gone. And it wasn't actually gone. They put an invisibility cloak over it. And it was a super successful campaign. We're still talking about it now.
Of course, yeah. I mean, exactly, very successful. Worked really well for a few days. The thing that was noticeable was when birds who were used to perching on it and defecating on it, they would still perch, they would still defecate, and so at some point you had like the shape of a statue in white bird poo.
That's true, yeah. And
there isn't the cloaks, the invisibility cloaks. They don't really take care of that.
And graffiti.
Graffiti as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So once the bird poo was there, and people went, "Wait a minute,
it's still there."
Yeah, then people could add graffiti as well.
On the other hand, it also it raised another round of awareness. It's like it was something that stayed in the public conversation for a while. It's great, and then I think next birthday or solstice or so, everybody,
it's a popular present.
Everybody got invisibility cloaks. Maybe that's even when I got mine.
Could be.
So have you used it a lot, let's say the last years?
So I mentioned, covering up the Lego models. Other than that, no. I'm a bit too old for that now.
But can there be, let's say, legal grown-up applications of an invisibility cloak?
Right, not just playing around as a kid, yeah.
I'm thinking, like, what could really be a thing? Like,
I mean, it's not professional exactly, but okay, you've got guests coming over, you've mostly tidied your place, but there's some stuff. Just cover it up with a cloak, yeah.
That's smart.
Like, not on the sofa, but, some corner of a room somewhere that people aren't going to be in much.
Yeah, actually,
chuck everything in there, put the cloak over it.
Pragmatic.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, if you're doing like a test, I mean, you have your telekinesis test, that probably doesn't work, but if you're doing a test where you have to answer questions, where you can just use your invisibility cloak, go somewhere that have the answers, and then, nobody notices you reading the answers.
Yeah, I mean, there's still then the thing where people kind of can sense that there's someone in the room with them.
And also it's not legal, I was saying some legal...
That would be not legal, yeah.
But because everything I come up with is kind of...
watching wildlife, like bird watching. Or, staking. So not hunting deer, but just basically wanting to watch deer in the forest. They can smell you, so you need to take care of that too, like stay downwind. But if you're not visible, that can help you.
I mean, especially in an open field, if the wind is in the right direction, you're covered in a visibility cloak, you can basically just stand there or wait for the deer to walk by. Yep. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. because the other thing I thought was, spy on people. Like you can just stand next to somebody that they or.
I mean, all the things with other people you can, and
why?
Well, why? Because there were simpler ways to do it, but also I can imagine it working short term, but not long term. Yeah, like if you're the only two people in the room, you under your cloak and the other person, they'll
know you're
tell
there.
them something's going on.
And also, I can't like it. It could maybe work, but I also can't find. Why would you spy?
Right, what's your job that makes sense?
Yeah, so like besides the fact, like how can you make that be a legal thing?
Yeah,
like
I mean, it can be sanctioned by a government, but it's not presumably. Well, who are you spying upon?
Corporate espionage.
Sure, then it sounds illegal.
Yeah, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
I'm just finding like even like you could spy on people, but I can't find like an application. Why would you spy on people? You can just ask them stuff.
That seems simpler. I mean, this. This is a thing. So in sports matches, a swave ball or other sports, you could be there on the pitch, messing things up, and if you keep that cloak on well enough, people won't know you're there. Again, it's the question: why are you doing this? Let's not worry about that right now. It's something you could do.
That's actually true. Yeah, you can.
I mean, it's a cloak, yeah. So it flaps around. You saw my feet earlier, and so on. If someone took a cloak, or the fabric it's made of, and made like a bodysuit that covered their hands, their feet, their whole body, then maybe that would be a bit more practical than an invisibility cloak.
Thinking about this, first I thought, how come they didn't make that? How come they just didn't go beyond cloaks? But maybe they did.
Yeah, and that's just not something you buy. Like, the cloaks are a fun solstice present, but they're not. The whole point of them is that it's basically possible to know that that there's someone hiding under there. But if there's a suit which completely covers you, it wouldn't be something that's sold just in regular department stores. Because
like the practical use of it, except maybe wildlife watching, which I thought was a really good idea, it maybe doesn't actually exist. Because it's like not being noticed by other humans just doesn't feel right. Because I was also thinking you could do like tricks on people,
Sure,
push them or whatever.
That's the fun stuff, but, as a child.
Yeah, as a child.
As an adult too, in certain contexts, not so much like at work or whatever. Or
maybe they want to put some soup in their mouth and you move the soup bowl around or stuff like this. But, that's fun, like, haha, at a party or whatever, but then that's it. And I also thought, maybe you don't really want to, like, spy on other people, you just don't feel like being bothered.
You don't want people to notice you're there.
Yeah, just you want to be left alone. So maybe you take a car somewhere, you sit in there, or you basically go in there with your invisibility cloak. You sit in the corner, nobody comes up to talk to you, but then why?
But then they might sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Like on public transport, at least, they wouldn't know you're there, so hey, free seat.
Exactly, and then why don't you take a car that fits just one person?
Just you or teleport.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of applications, all kinds of creative possibilities. But in reality, as like if we hadn't come up with the wildlife watching, I thought this is just a gimmick. I also don't know anybody who uses invisibility cloaks, but everybody has one.
Yeah, you often get them as presents.
Maybe I'll go wildlife watching soon if I can find my cloak.
Yeah.
Can I borrow yours otherwise?
You can borrow mine, yeah. I'm not using it.
Okay. Did we get any listener emails?
We did. Let me give it a read. So we have an email from Sharif Lasagna 5, and he writes, "Hey guys, what's up? Remember Bangalore? Cheers." Oh, and there was a winking. Is that a winking one? Yeah, a winking smiley face between the Bangalore and cheers. So, hey guys, what's up? Remember Bangalore? Wink. Cheers.
And it's from Sharif Lasagna 5.
That's what it says. But that doesn't make sense because we had a classmate at Bangalore.
Yeah, exactly. We had Sharif in our Bangalore class.
Yeah.
Huh. And he said, "Remember Bangalore." You reckon it's Sharif? But how come he writes us an email? Because the email is dated 21st century.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Dated 20 from the year 2022.
Wasn't Sharif the one who caused the incident in cybersecurity class?
Yeah. The one who even was like went beyond just our class. Yeah, like it's known as the Bangalore incident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that even made the news.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So it's him from our class messing with us, or it's someone with the same name,
Yeah,
which is also possible.
exactly.
But wait a minute, we were focused on the Sharif part. Lasagna 5, that's pretty similar to Michael Lasagna 5.
I think they probably made that up because we have Michael Lasagna 5.
If it's the Sharif we know, basically to mess with us.
Or people from the past. Like, it could be just a Sharif from the past,
I got it.
or somebody who's not called Sharif,
And
which
it's
just basically makes up
coincidence,
this
like
email.
they're saying, remember Bangalore, but they don't know about what we know about. But
Yeah, the Bangalore thing throws me off, and especially the winkies, the wink.
Yeah, the wink, yeah.
Huh. And like, if it's actual Sharif, I don't actually have his contact details now.
Oh,
Also,
right.
because he didn't come back after the incident.
Right. Yeah, like actually, this is the first, reading this now is the first time I'm thinking about him in a long while.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't remember him also returning to class then. I mean, I remember him being fine, just not returning to class, but
Sure.
I have no way of contacting him. I'm not even remembering his last name. Huh. But he can't have emailed us 200 years ago, so.
No. Do we remember Bangalore, Sharif? We do. Thank you for reminding us.
Exactly. It was actually fun, Bangalore. Well, okay. I would say that's it for this week.
Mm-hmm. I forget now. So I think we didn't mention how people can reach us.
We didn't.
But this is reminding me now with the name here. So, you people in the past listening to our amazing things we talk about, please let us know that this podcast got back to you. We want to check that it's still working, our method of sending stuff back in time. You can let us know by emailing michaellasagna5@gmail.com. You can tap the email in your show notes if you don't want to type that all up. And send the email with the subject line, including the number 58, and that way we'll know that you're responding to this, the 58th episode.
Yeah. And then our test was successful.
That's important to us.
Okay. Then thanks for listening to another episode, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.